Over the last century, black farmers have lost 90% of the farmland they owned. Much of this is due to systemic racism and biased government policy. I spoke with both the USDA and Arizona farmers to learn more about how they are working to make the business of farming more equitable. Rachel and James Stewart and their 4 children left the city a little over a year ago and made history by starting what they say is the first black-owned protein ranch in Arizona.
When we got into this, we knew that we were going to come out to the land, and we were like, what could we do? So then we thought about doing the farm, and when we couldn't find any black-owned farms, that's when we realized we had to do this even more.
In 1920, 14% of farmers were black and farmed on lands just like these. But today, according to the Census of Agriculture, black farmers like the Stewarts only make up 1.4% of farmers in the U.S. A big reason for this, farmers say, is the historical discrimination by the USDA, which provides grants, support programs, and loans for farmers across the country. One example, according to the USDA, is loan discrimination, where loan officers charge black farmers higher interest rates than white farmers. Funding was a big hurdle for the Stewarts.
Once we get over one thing, then it's the next thing, and it's the next thing. Because thinking that anybody's going to do anything for us, it's not. That's not happening, you know. So it's really, you know, creating a new system, and as we learn and grow.
The USDA has admitted to a decades-long history of systemic racism, and they are now trying to hold themselves accountable and create change.
I've been working in a cross-departmental effort to really look at where we are from a racial justice and equity standpoint, okay? And we're not sugarcoating. We are trying to find the real facts and data behind the discrepancies that exist.
That's why the USDA has appointed their first ever senior advisor for racial equity to tackle these issues.
You know, the thinking is the more information we can share with them about the true facts behind USDA, the quicker that they can give us direction and guidance on how we make improvements that are needed to achieve equity. And I think that's going to be an important part of this process.
The Stewarts aren't waiting for change to come, but instead they decided to build their own network.
So we want to support other people getting into farming, getting into livestock, and normalizing it. So our main missions are food security and building diversity in food and agriculture.
They are helping other farmers find land and growing their network throughout Phoenix and the Southwest. James Stewart understands that many black families were shut out of the opportunity to build generational wealth in the U.S., dating back to the time after slavery when former slaves were promised 40 acres, but that land either never came or was taken. Now he wants to create change for his family.
You know, and this is their education right here for our children, so they're in it. They got blood, sweat, and tears. They work hard. So by the time they're 18, as opposed to running off to college, I mean, they just start running this. And then they start making decisions, putting their input in it, putting their stamp on it, and they just continue to grow it. When they have children, then it's next thing you know, we 3 generations. So, I mean, and as long as we continue to grow and build it and stay here, it's going to make a change. And
the Southwest Black Ranchers' goal is to bring a message of hope, diversity, and equal representation to the future of food and agriculture. The USDA's Equity Commission is not yet in action, but they say they will be working with experts to provide specific feedback for agriculture programs to bring racial equity to farming.